All right, guys, what you're about to see is absolute insanity, and I'll be surprised if this champion does not get a nerf or does not get some changes to her kit. Now, Plarium releasing a champion this complicated and this many things going on behind the scenes, I think is just bound to be full with bugs, things like damage scaling depending on the turn she's taken, extra turns with each hit giving a chance of granting the extra turn. Just all kinds of things baked into her kit is really cool, but it makes for things like this to be possible. And one of the things here that I'm a little bit confused about is why her Crushing Rend plus Giant Slayer is hitting for such an insane amount of damage. Now, maybe you guys know something I don't, but I didn't think Crushing Rend changed the amount of damage Giant Slayer does. I tested it with my Newt. It didn't change any of the damage. I was thinking maybe it's her A1 scaling damage on the third hit, but that doesn't seem to be the case either. On Fire Knight right here, the Giant Slayer hits seem to be fine, but when we move over to Dragon, her Giant Slayer with Crushing Rend was hitting for a lot more than without Crushing Rend. But either way, it doesn't really matter if she has Crushing Rend or not, because she's going to perform just as insane. Honestly, for most content, she's not even going to have Giant Slayer, and instead you're going to be running Helm Smasher, which she can definitely smash some champions. She does tons of damage, strong, hard-hitting A2 and A3 skill. Right there, I soloed Stage 3 of Fire Knight. Originally, I had soloed Stage 6 hard of Fire Knight. By the way, the previous stage was hard as well, hard mode. Previously, I soloed Stage 6 hard. This was a bit more tricky to do so. I wasn't able to get it actually pulled off. I had ran it probably 20 times, and these are not going to be consistent. Basically, her A1 is going to overall have a 70% chance to give you an extra turn after her 3 skills are used, and that happening over and over and over and over again is very low chances, but it does happen, and Phantom Shogun is probably the area that it's easiest to happen. Now, the 6-star blessing here is very important, but you'll see how much damage the Crushing Rend is doing. Here, once again, it's fine, 132,000. That makes sense. Some other areas, it's not making as much sense, though, and it's specifically in Dragon. Now, the 6-star blessing is allowing her to, against the Shogun, keep these stacks reduced when she has Enfeeble up. If she's not 6-star blessing, that's not going to work as well, and even 5-star, I'm not for sure if it would work, but I'm not able to test that because, unfortunately, when they rebooted the test server, I had already taken her to 6-star blessing, so that's what we're going to be testing with today. But for PvP content, which she is an absolute menace versus nice, we're not even going to be using Crushing Rend anyway, so it won't really matter. Now, this Dragon run I actually fail, so we're going to skip past this one. Basically, she doesn't do enough damage quick enough, doesn't get the extra turn. Actually, she does get a turn, and she just dies from the poisons. But this run is fine. And you can see here how much damage she's dealing. She just shreds these waves. 576,000 damage, boom, 437. Increase their skill cooldowns as well. A1 ability, 100,000 plus damage, 700,000, 400,000. You take some damage, you take some damage. Everyone is just getting one shot, 685,000 damage. She does have Crushing Rend. I can show you guys a run example without Crushing Rend, but here in Dragon, it's hitting for 428,000 damage. I take Crushing Rend off of her, and the Giant Slayer procs are not procking for that much. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Maybe that's normal. I don't typically run Dragon with a champion like this. I just go max HP and just kill it. But if that's the case, maybe I use my Newts with Crushing Rend. But so far when I tested them, they were not procking for 428,000 damage. It could be because it's hitting max HP cap, which I think that is the max HP. Actually, no, I think it's like either way. She solo Dragon Stage 10 hard as well. And the gear she's currently wearing is pretty good. I'm not going to lie, it is pretty solid. And she does have a 6-star blessing with a plus 12 Cat's Gaze. It's a 5-star with some pretty good gems as well. She has the boosting damage after she kills somebody, some extra defense ignore with the consecutive hits. Makes a ton of sense since her A1 ability is a triple hitter. But as far as her actual stats, I just have her going fast, over crit cap just because I threw some gear on her. She has good attack and good crit damage. And as far as her stats in these areas specifically, Fire Knight, she was really fast, of course. Dragon's Lair, I have all the area bonuses maxed out anyways. And then Shogun, she was not actually fully maxed over there. As for her relic, I went Cat's Gaze, but I think she could be useful in many other relics. I actually tried out a little bit with this relic. I don't know where it's at, but basically this gemstone slot has a gemstone that after taking an extra turn will gain 10% turn meter. I was thinking it would just stack up, but it didn't seem to. It seemed to, after all of her extra turns were finished, just give her 10% turn meter instead of like 100%, which would have just made her essentially never run out of turns. You would just take a turn, and it would be crazy. Now, there are probably some relics that boost turn meter. I don't know which ones do, but there are some things you could do here that could be very, very crazy with her. I mean, this gives you an extra chance to get an extra turn from the A1, so you can get more extra turns. But I really think things like this plus 9-piece Merciless is a bit just overkill because you're kind of getting diminishing returns. You're not stacking extra turns on top of each other. If you could, that would make sense. You're basically just banking on the 30% of the time, more or less, when this does not get you an extra turn, that the Perch Shadow or the 9-piece Merciless would be the thing to give you an extra turn. So for PvE content, so dungeons, Hydra, all that kind of good stuff, you're probably going to be running 6-piece Merciless. Honestly, 6-piece Merciless, 2-piece Zeal is going to be the way to go. And then Crushing Rend with Cat's Gaze is going to be what you're looking for. As far as Giant Slayer or not, if she's hitting for these crazy high number procs, that would make sense. I want to go ahead and jump into Hydra real quickly and show you guys what she can do here. The quick battle will be the best way to showcase this. I'll do one quick battle. We'll jump into a fight and I'll show you the damage there. But she does a lot. 187 million. The Taras, for some comparison, did 92 million. The Taras should be built. He is built. And she could do even more if she was in Zeal plus Merciless. So she's a good Hydra damage dealer. Just make sure you have these abilities being used, because if you turn these off, she will take up 90% of the team's turns. And that's not what you want. You don't want her A1 just doing everything, unless you're somebody who has a hard time getting many turns in Hydra anyways. If that's the case, then maybe you do want her to just solo one key the entire Hydra, which may be possible if you get lucky. Here, I just want to showcase how much damage she can do on a decapitated head, basically. Of course, Crocad's going to put up more damage. 600,000 to decapitate that head. No decreased defense and weaken just yet. Hopefully we get some. But obviously, we have 2 million damage there. The crazy, crazy damage from Crocad and Taras's abilities. They hit hard. They hit very hard. And our Fusion Champion's not going to be able to showcase her damage just yet. But you can see in previous Dragon runs, as well as here, she does a lot. With or without Crushing Rend on her, she's going to hit hard and going to do a lot. The books do add some damage to her. I think like 30% on her A1. So you're going to want to push the books up and get her booked out. As far as Hydra damage, if you didn't pick up champions like Crocad, if you don't have big single target damage dealers, she could be a great option. See what kind of damage she does on a head that's decapitated right there. We have some good hits going off. That wasn't from her, though. Let's go this one here. Just drop it down. 1.2 million. So, I mean, she's hitting hard. If you need a good, hard-hitting, single-target Hydra champion, she can be it. She can push your damage. If you have Crocad, he's going to do more, but she can definitely put up some very solid numbers. And one of the best parts about it, she's very tanky. Her passive ability is going to have a few different effects. This last one is going to be insane in the arena once we jump into there. But her first portion is going to be each subsequent hit from this champion deals 33% more damage up to 99%. So it's going to do 33%, 66%, 99%, and then resets after the 99% damage bonus is applied. And then each subsequent hit this champion receives deals either 33% less damage, 66%, or 99% less damage, resetting after that 99%. Now, this part right here is what's crazy in the arena. Whenever an enemy is revived, revives this champion with 33% HP, 66% turn meter. After being revived, places a true fear on all enemies. This cannot be resisted or blocked. Now, this is another thing that I believe may be nerfed or adjusted. Unless it has already been changed, she currently, against Nice, basically breaks him. And then if we look at her A3, before attacking, removes all buffs from all enemies, can't be resisted if they're under an amount of buffs divisible by 3, so either 3, 6, or 9, and then is going to attack all other enemies with less than 66% HP, granting her an extra turn if this champion is under 3, 6, or 9 buffs. Then her A2 is a single target, ignores 33% of the target's defense, will ignore 99% of the target's defense, stone skin, and block damage instead if this is used on a turn divisible by 3. Now, you don't have to count the turns past 3. All you have to do is count to 3. If you use this ability and it has block damage pop up, well, reset your counter after then. And if it doesn't have block damage pop up, well, hope for the best and try to RNG it again in the future, because if you lose count early on, it's going to be difficult to pick back up unless you just look for the text that pops up. They really need to get something in the game that actually shows which turn she's on. Heck, literally make these shields grow, like glow, not grow. Grow could be cool. Make them glow. The mirrors, not shields, the mirrors. Make the mirrors glow. Okay, we're on turn 1. This one glows. Turn 2, this one glows. Turn 3, all of them glow. Pretty simple stuff there. I don't know how simple it would be to actually implement, though. Now, if the target's killed, increases the cooldowns of all enemy skills by 3 turns. This effect cannot be resisted if the skill is used on a turn divisible by 3. Once again, just count to 3. You'll be good to go. And then, of course, our A1 is a triple hitter. Each hit has a chance of gaining an extra turn. Cannot gain more than 1 extra turn in that single ability. So you can't stack the extra turns. Now, for PvP, I'm going to be putting her in Stone Skin plus Savage. You could go Stone Skin or Savage plus Pinpoint. There's a lot of builds you could go. If you're going to go a slow team with her, I'll show you guys that it actually works out incredibly well. So this build is perfect. But honestly, this champion is just no questions asked. You should go for it. Without a doubt, you should pick up this champion. You should go for the fusion. You should get this champion. You will not regret having her. And I think she is going to be a part of the meta, honestly. Now, as far as what I'm selling here, don't worry about it because it's the test server. Everything I sell is not affecting my actual account. At least I sure hope that it's the test server. I always get worried I'm selling stuff on my actual account instead of on the test server. I'm trying to equip these daggone pieces of gear, but I have to apparently take off everything, put it in my inventory, and then put the stuff back on her. Either way, her current stats, 6,000 attack, good speed, good crit damage, actually probably a little less damage stats than what I would typically build a champion, but this is what we're going to rock with here, see how she does. She does have a good aura as well with for like PvE content, not so much for PvP, it's just an attack aura, but if you want to push her damage, it's pretty decent. As for what I'm going to go here, we're going to go this, we'll go extra HP, this, more damage from the A1. We need as much damage as I can get from that A1 ability. Either one of these are fine. We'll go this, and then we'll go some turn meter boosting. Sure, why not? So let's jump over to the arena. I went ahead and swapped her blessing over to Life Harvest. Lightning Cage is a very common one for PvP champions, but for her, I don't think it's going to make a ton of sense because she's a champion that takes so many turns with that A1 ability that she will outrun basically any buff that she has anyways. So what I have her in is Life Harvest, which is amazing for the interactions he has with enemy revives. Now, let's try to get to 3 here. We'll go 1, extra turn, excellent. 2, extra turn, maybe, got the extra turn. Could I kill the Taras? I have no clue. I think he may have procced his passive. Let's go ahead and try to kill him. Boom, he's done for, and they're all locked out. We counterattack him, and he's not going to be able to do anything else besides the A1. He does full damage to me, unfortunately. She does have the damage reduction. It just depends on which skill they're being hit with. But I've seen her just survive a Taras A2 before, which is pretty sweet. Pretty impressive, honestly. Now here, this is where things could maybe get cool. Let's go for some hits on this Siegfried. 1. Can I get an extra turn? Just kill him maybe? 2. I definitely should get a turn before he does. 3. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, that first hit was blocked. You saw the 286 damage. The second hit was not. But for a just duo combo here, that was pretty solid. Guys, I'm trying to find a team with a nice that can do pretty good work here and kill my Maria. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully this one can. The ones I've tried so far have not been able to kill her, and it's just been kind of not great showcasing. we're going to see about getting a few extra turns. So right now, this is turn 1. This next one will be turn 2. I got to be careful because I don't want to kill him. If he swaps forms, well, like this will kill him. Now Nice is dead because it's a triple hitting skill. Decent showcase. And the third use, we're going to A2 on Siegfried, ignore that block damage, and now they're all dead. So at this point, I just want the Nice to come back and to kill my Maria. So I'll actually try to send her over there to hit him so that he ends up killing her in a second. I want to have some other revive options going, though. He should kill her here. And if he does, you're going to see the craziness that's about to happen. Okay. You got to give it a few seconds because she's surprisingly tanky, or that Nice is just not very strong. Here we go. So she reses, and then Maria comes back. So what happens there is the passive, whenever an enemy is revived, even if Maria is the last champion around, I'll try to make that happen. She will still revive. Or she did before. It may be fixed. Kind of doubt it is, though. I want to get the Marichka. Okay, there we go. Siegfried gets revived. She gets revived. Maria should come back. The game's frozen. It's wondering what's going on. Why is Maria being questioned to come back? There we go. She is back. Now, I really need my Marichka to get killed so that we can not have her here. So how would I go about doing that? Let's get rid of the Siegfried, possibly. And then let's get... Actually, no, Siegfried's probably good to be here still. It's just I want her to be dead so you guys can see that it does work the way I'm saying it works. So kill her. Obviously, she can just do this and kill everybody. Maybe we just do that. Okay, no, because their max HP is destroyed, so the 66% or whatever is a little bit off. Now, if Siegfried does a big hit, we could actually lose Marichka here, which would be very nice. Perfect. No, not quite perfect. Almost perfect. There we go. Now, I just need her to... Okay, so she's getting the turn next. Maybe she can revive Marichka. Oh, wait, this is perfect. Let's go here. So he's going to hit me, but not quite do enough damage. Let's try it again. Not quite enough damage again. Let's try it one more time. There we go. And then she's back again. We get hit again, but she's back again. And now I can just, I don't know where I'm at as far as the turn counts. I don't know if he is where he's at either. Let's just go for an A3 or an A2. It doesn't really matter. I can go A2 onto Roglin. He kills me. If he does, well, that'd be pretty sweet. If Siegfried kills me, my fun is over. But if Nice kills me, she'll just continually revive over and over and over and over. If an enemy is getting picked up, she is getting picked up. It's crazy how it works with Nice when she's the last champion around. I don't know if I can showcase it with her alone. This would probably be a bit difficult, but it's kind of crazy how that's working. I don't know if it's how it's supposed to be working or not, but it's definitely kind of insane. So let's go for this. With the perfect RNG, this could work out really well. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Well, actually, maybe it can. Well, Marichka, oh, no. Well, we're not in the worst spot right now. Now we're in a bad spot. Let's try it one more time. If I can proc some extra turns here, what's going to happen is that I go 2 turns on him. Actually, no, do 1 turn on him, 1 turn on Nice, blast him, something like that. Let's see. 1 turn, no extra turn. Don't take much damage from him. Siegfried, once again, not a ton of damage there. A little bit of turn meter boost there, which caused him to actually cut in. Unfortunate. Let's try this team with just Maria solo. This could work out really well if I'm able to get a few extra turns here and just get rid of the Siegfried. That would be perfect. But I need extra turns to proc. So that's 1. Let's go ahead and try to get him a little bit lower. 2. And then 3. Siegfried's gone. Nice gets swapped to his other form. He's probably just going to die here. And then Roglin should revive the Nice. And now what I can do is just hit the Nice. You guys can see it perfectly here that he hits me. Doesn't kill me just yet, unfortunately. Kills me now, and she comes back with everybody feared. So here I can just drop Roglin and then hit everybody else. Nice comes over, does a little bit of damage. She gets some shields going up, and then he's going to, of course, kill me because Siegfried always has to ruin the fun. But as you can see, what she can do just solo versus Nice is quite insane. And I was just kind of playing with the team to show the res and everything like that. I could have dealt with the Siegfried fine. I could have killed him and revived in a different order. That's not the thing I want to showcase here. It's just how crazy she is. And if you're going to use her against fast teams, it doesn't even matter. Like what she does doesn't get bothered by block actives or increased skill cooldowns. Like right here, we have increased skill cooldowns from Warlord. The turn meter reduction is not cool, but the cooldown increase doesn't matter. If we get an extra turn, boom, we just go into the next one. Get Warlord a little bit lower in HP, another extra turn. Guess what? We use this ability. That's going to attack one enemy, and then it's going to attack all other enemies with less than 66% HP, which is going to kill 3/4 of their team just from there. And then we go ahead and kill the Gizmak or get very close to doing so. He gets sheeped. You got to love it. And then she goes ahead and drops him. So what she's bringing, guys, is so incredibly strong. This champion, even after the changes that were made to her, is definitely a fusion you should be going for. As they showcase for Maria, she is very strong in PvE content, very good over in PvP. For Chimera, she's not bad, but as far as what she's going to do as far like damage and things like that, she's not going to bring a massive amount of damage because she's going to be outrunning any buffs you have. So protection sets are going to be basically useless. You have the increased attack, all that kind of stuff is going to fall off fairly quickly, but she can do some damage. So if you're going for a team just trying to push damage, you don't have many options, she could help you hit that one key, I'm sure. Like this ability is A2 hit for 400,000, so this is not even with Merciless or Crushing Rend. So let's get an example with that real quick and see what she could do with Crushing Rend and Merciless at 6-star. Like I said, she can do damage if that's what you're looking for, just some good solid damage. But as far as trials and all that kind of good stuff, she's not going to contribute much in that aspect. We'll see what she does here, though. So she has Crushing Rend now. Champions like Senna, she's going to take tons of turns, though, with her. Maria will. Bunch of weak hits there, unfortunately. I do have her set to use only her A1. Let's see what her A2 does with no increased attack. No protection, nothing like that. It did some decent damage, 400,000. So she could scale up to a good chunk, and you're basically always going to have that A2 and A3. You're just not going to be able to rely on many buffs, which could be a bit of an issue. This A3 ability is going to hit for 500,000. Then triple A1, A1. The extra turn chance from that A3 is if she's under 3 buffs, which she could be. But once again, she's going to run through them pretty quickly. Let's see, though. Let's see if we can push some more damage. So A2, does she have anything on her right now? She has increased attack. So yeah, A2 with increased attack, decreased defense and weaken. 666. Kind of strange for her character. Maybe she's capped at that secretively. A1, 100,000. So 300,000 on the A1. You could spam that. So yeah, she is going to give you good damage. She is going to give damage and a good chunk of it. It's just what you're looking for. Trials, she's not going to bring a whole lot there. Let's see, A3, 247. And then by turn 5, she's going to have put up a decent chunk. 55,000. The third hit, or the second hit did 98,000. 95,000 there. I think that was the second hit or third hit. I'm not sure. The third hit does the most damage when she's, I think. Well, I guess it depends on where she's at with her other skills. So there's a lot of counting and keeping track of stuff going on anyways. But also, we're boosting people's turn meter with Androck here, which is pretty sweet. So we will get more turns. That is cool. The Androck turn meter boost stuff. Because she's going to take turn after turn after turn anyways. So boom, boom, boom. It only does on crits, though. So this specific one is strong affinity versus her. So it won't be the best showcase there, necessarily. But she will be good over in Chimera as well. If you're looking for damage, she can push it. If you got Titus, I can't imagine you're going to be using her. But she will help you push up some damage. She's at 6 million right now. Turn 5. Not too bad. I don't see her breaking any records personally. She's not doing that levels of damage. And she probably won't survive her own hits here. Yeah, so she just nukes herself pretty well. Of course. Either way, guys, that is the showcase of Maria. I definitely recommend going for a fusion. Thank you all very much for watching. Best of luck in going for it. Remember, she's the only champion who can solo Fire Knight, Shogun, Dragon 10 hard, nice is in the arena, and do good damage in all the clan bosses. Of course, in regular clan boss, you could literally do a Bat Eater team if you have it. I don't have it set up right now, but if you had a Bat Eater team, you could throw her in there no problem, because Bat Eater, you can use Relentless sets. So her A1 ability, no issue whatsoever. Just spam that over and over and over, and she could be a decent option for you. As far as what I have here, let's just throw Maria in here. Quick battle. It may not last that long, or it may last a very long time. But she's definitely going to put up some good numbers, and it's an easy 1 key. Obviously, that team always 1 keys anyways. So either way, guys, that is the showcase for Maria. Thank you all very much for watching. Best of luck going for the fusion. I know I will be, and I'll catch you all in the next one.